Hi guys, it's Alia and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm recommending some books that you can read to improve yourself in different aspects. I have chosen topics like memory, money and power in general, your brain power and willpower, and I hope that you will like the recommendations that I have for you. I'll begin with the books that I've never recommended to you on this channel before and then move on to the ones that I have talked about before. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started with this video. The very first book that I want to recommend is a book about memory, because I figured that memory is extremely important no matter what you do in life. Even if you're a student, even if you are working somewhere, you need good memory to progress in life. So read some books that are, basically about improving your memory, okay? I have read quite a lot of books in this particular genre of memory boosting. The latest book that I have read is called Unlimited Memory and it was pretty good. I read it in the ebook format, but I saw that a summary of that book is available on Storytel as an audiobook as well, so you can try that out if you don't have much time. I will leave a link to a free trial of Storytel in the description below. A lot of these books are actually books that I read on Storytel or as ebooks because I am trying to save money on paperbacks. So yeah. So Unlimited Memory tells you what are the things you can do to have better memory and improve your memory and basically retain things. Like knowing is only half the process. Retaining what you have known is the rest of it, and that is extremely important. Like if you just read a lot and then forget it all, it's really of no use. And something that I learned from this book, I hope it was from this book because it might have been from any other book as well, but it was a really good line and it said something like, knowledge combined with emotion creates memory. We remember things that create an emotion in us. So that is the reason why we are more inclined to read subjects that we are interested in, because that makes us emotional at sometimes. Maybe it can make you excited, maybe it can make you sad, happy, whatever. But as long as it makes you excited, you retain that memory. But maybe not when you're sad, because otherwise I would have scored 100 in my chemistry exams, which I clearly did not. The next book that I want to recommend, I'm pretty sure you guys can't guess the title, but it's something like Un-F***CK Yourself. It's by Gary Bishop and it's a brilliant book. I have realized by reading that book is that our thought process are literally F***CKED up. And reading this book makes you realize how you can actually rewire your thought process, rewire yourself so that you can understand what are the things you need to do to lead a better life. So I highly recommend this particular book to you. I read this book almost 5-6 months back and I think I recommended it to you back then, but I haven't talked about it ever since, so I wanted to mention it in today's video. The next book I'll recommend is The Art of Flaneuring by Erica Owen. This is also an audiobook that I read lately and I loved it. So I knew what a flaneur was. I came across it while I was studying poetry, but I did not know that you can apply the art of flaneuring so well in life. Basically, it's looking at things but as an observer, and it's a beautiful process. I can't really describe it to you in words, but I'm pretty sure you've done that in life, okay? Book Blurb says something like, have you ever been walking home from work and unexpectedly took a different path just to learn more about your neighborhood? Or have you ever been on a vacation and walked around a new city just to take it all in? Then chances are you're a flaneur and you didn't even know it. So this is actually a French word, okay? So I really like the Art of Flaneuring book so much because I knew about flaneuring already, but if you didn't, I explained a little bit of it to you and I hope that you'll pick this book up. It's a pretty short audiobook, like 2.5 hours. So it's not really going to take much of your time. So basically, the art of flaneuring is important because number one, it helps you boost your mental health, and everyone can be a flaneur. You can actually manage your stress by flaneuring, and you can use the art of flaneuring to connect with people on a other level, okay? So that is important, and I think that that's why I wanted to recommend this book to you. The next book I'll recommend is Essentialism. The writer is Greg McKeown. I hope I pronounced that right. Basically, essentialism is the art of knowing what are the things that are essential to a work that you're doing and doing them instead of, being all over the place. If you're someone who feels overwhelmed with things to do in life, work, studies, etc., I think this book is going to be extremely helpful in understanding what are the things that are essential to your area of work or area of study, and then focusing on that. I really like the cover of this particular book as well. It really explains the whole process of not being able to understand what is essential and then coming down to the parts that actually are. The next book I'll recommend is by Darren Hardy. This is called The Compound Effect. Compound Effect is basically a book that talks about how little habits and little things that you do over the years, grow like compound interest, and finally you have a brilliant end result. I think this is a concept that all of us are very familiar with, but very few of us actually practice in real life. We want things right now. We want to start learning today and want the result tomorrow. So yeah, that is not going to happen. We all know that. But even then, somewhere we can't accept it. So reading books like this makes you understand that okay, you're not alone and it's just gonna be a lengthy process, but if you persevere you will get there. If you want to read something more along the lines of passion plus perseverance, I will recommend Grit. I personally did not like this book as much as I would like to, but it's a good book. Like the summary, I have read the summary, brilliant. It's really brilliant. The concept itself is brilliant, but I didn't like the book itself. So I won't recommend the book from my perspective, but if it sounds interesting, you can pick up Grit as well. So yeah, that will be all for the books that I have never recommended before. Coming to the books that I have, and I'll not be spending as much time on these books because I have already talked about them previously. So the first book I'll recommend is Master Your Money, Master Your Life. This is a book by Ishank Kumar. This is a brilliant book for Indians to understand what money is about and how you can be very smart with money. I think as we are heading into an economic crisis gradually, it's very, very important to understand how money works and how you can take care of your own money, make money, and actually not just spend it all away but save it, and what are the ways in which you can actually save it so that your money stays safe. This book talks about a lot of things very easily. Actually, I expected this book to be difficult because the author is extremely qualified, but yeah, that's not the case. This book is really, really good. In case you want an alternative, Storytel also has a lot of money related books there. There are books by Dave Ramsey, Tony Robbins, and they are brilliant authors as well about money and being an entrepreneur. So yeah, maybe you can try those out if you don't have the money to buy this paperback, but I'd highly recommend this to Indians specifically. I have recommended it so many times, but again, if you want to improve yourself, speaking skills are very important because how you speak, the language you use makes you to a great extent. So this book is The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking by Dale Carnegie. A pretty thin book. I think when I got it on Amazon, it cost like 70 or 80 rupees. I don't exactly remember, but it was pretty cheap. But the book is pretty great, so you might want to check it out. The next book that I recommend, which is on Storytel along the lines of this same book, is How to Talk to Anybody Anytime Anywhere, something like that. It's a very short audiobook, but again, if you don't want to spend your money on a paperback, I'll recommend that book to you. The next book that I'll recommend is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. If you're someone who is struggling with self-discovery, who wants to discover what their passion is, who wants to discover what they want to do in life, and you want to just figure out who you are, you must start with why. If you have read the book Ikigai first, it will be better because Ikigai is more about finding passion than this one. This book is about why you are passionate about something and how you should actually put it in terms if you are starting a business, because every business has a why. Every business that has a why has more chances to succeed. This book is not only important for people who want to start a business, but I think also for people who are doing anything in life. Like, why the hell are you doing it? You should know that. Are you doing it just because you are going with the flow, or just because you actually wanted to do it, or because you wanted to do something else but it didn't happen, so you just thought, okay, this might be a better path. Just understand why you are doing what you're doing. Okay, it's really important to understand who you are and then develop who you are. Next book that I recommend is such a good book. This is called No Excuses by Brian Tracy. Once again, I have recommended it so many times, but again, if you are someone who struggles with disciplining yourself, if you keep breaking the rules that you set for yourself all the time, this is a book that is going to save you. I read this book in the ebook format, but there's the audiobook as well. I don't care what format you listen to it in, but I want you to read this book. This is really that good, okay? I'm pretty sure that this is one of those non-fiction books which is going to change your life. And talking about disciplining yourself and habits, I'll recommend two books. The number one book is Power of Habit, which I have been recommending like ever since the world began. But the next book that I'll recommend in the same genre is Atomic Habits. It's a newer recommendation, and it's also like about breaking bad habits and getting into new ones, but it's quite different from Power of Habits. I don't want to reveal much, but basically if you think about Power of Habits, it's more focused on what you can do and what you can't do to build better habits and all that. But Atomic Habits, this book particularly, is more about the intricacies of the things that we do or don't do. Okay. Last but not the least, I'll recommend this book, and I'm pretty sure you know which book I'm talking about. It's a brilliant book if you want to make friends, influence people, and go very, very, very far in your life, your career, etc. Yes, I'm talking about the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And yeah, make sure you read this book. If you don't read any other books that I recommend today, this particular book is actually going to help you in developing your relationships around you, in developing your personality, in developing your career, in developing practically everything that really matters in your life. So yeah, that would be all for today's video. I hope that you guys like these recommendations. All these books are very, very close to my heart. This was basically a non-fiction recommendation video. The next video is definitely going to be one that has a lot of fiction recommendations. So if you're someone who looks out for fiction books, yes, I hope that you like my video next week. The links to all these books that I recommended today are in the description below. Please buy them from there because that helps me a lot in keeping posting content on my channel. The link to a free trial of Storytel is also in the description below. So if you want to try Storytel out, it's free for 30 days using the link in the description, storytel.com/Hali. And I have actually a small news that I want to break to you. I have started podcasting. I'm still very new to it. I'm very, very open to criticisms right now. So if you want to share feedback, you can. The podcast I host right now is called The Ear People. It's a Storytel initiative. The latest 3 or 4 episodes are of mine. The previous episodes, there are other hosts. So if you happen to give them a listen, my ones a listen, let me know that how they were, if you like them, and what kind of podcast do you want from me next. I'm pretty new to it once again, so yeah, please excuse me if I am faulty there. So yeah, I'll take your leave now. I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.